Hey guys! Welcome back to Let's Play Star Ocean 2. And my voice is better today! Hopefully. I think it is. Let's just go with it is. Okay. I won't know until I go to edit because, you know, it's always difficult to hear your own voice. We are still on Claude's path, and there are a couple more things we can do here in the town of Mars before moving forward. You are not the one I want to talk to. You are the one I want to talk to. And you hate me. One sec. Okay, success. Angel statue. Now that one, if I remember correctly, did I already have one? I did not. Perfect. Okay. Heals wounds of all fronts. If I remember correctly, this is a revival, or it's like a heal-all. Okay, it's a heal-all. Maybe it's also a revive? I can't remember. So many of the items in this game are really kind of vague descriptions that don't really explain what they do at all. I believe this one applies that 60% MP restoration to all of your party members, but it doesn't actually say that anywhere on the item. I just know from looking at the item encyclopedia on GameFAQs, because that one is very, very complete. Anyway, once we've done that, we can go and do the most important thing. Before I do this, there's a couple things I want to mention right now because I don't really have a better place of doing them. If you do not recruit Celine and get all the way to the next couple of towns and recruit Bowman, come back to Mars, you can do a PA, a private action that you can't otherwise do. You have to have not recruited Celine, and I've done so on both paths, so I won't be able to show this off. But you're also going to have to recruit Bowman, which is easy enough to do. If you don't do anything special, you'll automatically get him. You do a private action here, you'll get a holy ring. I've never actually seen this private action, so I don't even know what happens in it. But from what I remember, holy rings aren't particularly all that useful anyway. But that's just something to note. There's a private action here. 2, there is another private action if you decide to recruit Pressis. Pressis is a character you can recruit either her or Bowman. And if you recruit her, you can come back here before you get to the Castle of Lacour, which is the next place we're supposed to go to, kind of where we've been directed to go. And if you want to do this private action, you have to do it before you go there, which means you got to skip a town, go further in, recruit her, come back, do the private action here. And there's actually 2 that you can do with Pressis on Claude's path. One of them will open up a subsequent private action on disc 2, which I also will not be able to show off because I will not be recruiting Pressis on this path. So anyway, those are kind of the important things to go over. Next, I've never failed to steal this, but this is the most important item. Probably even more so than the mischief item. In terms of the reason why we decided to get this so early, the pickpocketing ability. So we get random crappy items for doing whatever that is. Okay. Now we want to eventually leave the town. Okay. Now items, we want to go and organize by new. The treasure chest will be on top. Now that we've done that, you want to save. And I will go into why I'm doing all of these things in this particular order in a few minutes. But once we've got the treasure chest at the first slot there, we want to go into the town. I should probably turn that off. Because that's annoying for the moment anyway. Go into any shop, it doesn't matter. And we need to sell 3 or 4 slots that are in the top little bit. Like rose hips, I don't care about those. I can sell all those. I could sell the blueberries if I wanted to. That gives me MP, so I don't want to do that. I don't need that. I'll be able to buy one of those in a moment, but we'll do that one and that one. Those should all be on the first page. So now go in, check your inventory. So they're all on the first page. So we have empty slots on our first page. This is important for speeding this process along. Once we've done that, and the reason we have to do any of this is just because of the horrible item organization system in this game. If they had just allowed you to pick and choose where you wanted to put things, then it would make life a lot easier for us. Anyway, once we've done that, make sure you save. We have the treasure chest that we stole from that guy. What might it contain? It's a mysterious box that will give you 3 items when opened. It's not unique. There are a number of items that do this in the game. This is the earliest we have access to it other than item creation, and I believe we can create treasure chests through item creation relatively shortly. I believe they require magical clay, and I will try and show that off. But the treasure chest is an item that gives you 3 random items. Now, someone's already asked this in the comments, but I'll reiterate it now so that everyone knows. There are 791 different items in this game. This includes question mark items or, pretty much anything else. There are that many items you can get in this game. If you look up in the top right, I already have 88 items, and I've sold a bunch. So there's a bunch that I'm missing. But this treasure chest will give you 3 random items from a pool of, let me make sure I'm doing this right, I got it written down, 223 different items. And because I used it randomly, and I got an odd hat, which is junk, and the reason why the other items didn't show up here is because I already had them, which means I don't want to accept this. So I got probably herbal oil and fairy glass, yeah. So those are the ones in green, which means those are the ones that are new. Those are not the ones that I want to get out of this, because this is a rare chance of getting some really powerful equipment way earlier in the game. So basically, you just go in, you use it, and you check. And if you see the attack power on this whip for a character we don't have yet, you can realize what I'm probably going for. I'm going to keep doing this for a little while because there's one particular item that I really want to get. Just because it seems to be the one that everyone else wants to go for. And basically, this is all you have to do. That's for a character we don't have yet, and it's not all that good. But yeah, the reason why I cleared out the inventory spots up top are so that if I get a new item, it'll appear right in front on the main page, so I won't have to move anything. I'll be able to see any new items that I got. Any repeat items I got, I don't really care for anyway. There's maybe 1 or 2, like a berserk ring or something like that, that would even be worthwhile keeping. But there's one in particular I want to be able to show off. So I'm going to keep doing this off screen until I get lucky enough. Just keep loading your file over and over again. Sometimes this can take 5 minutes. Sometimes this can take an hour. It all depends on your luck. Oops. But yeah, I'm not getting particularly lucky quite yet. But anyway, after this one, I'll do the rest of them off screen, and I will tell you how long it took me. And, once I come back, we will have the item that I want. Oh, there's a tri-emblem, which is some god's crest. It's not the famed tri-emblem from all other Star Ocean games. We cannot get the actual tri-emblem through this method, just so you know. Nor can we get it as a random item from the, the mischief item. So anyway, I will see you in a moment. Okay, I got extraordinarily lucky today. That took 3 minutes. The Marvel Sword. This is the ultimate item I believe you can get out of this entire thing. It's likely the most useful. I got a rose whip and what other crap did I get? A leather helm, don't care, doesn't matter. The Marvel Sword. Let's go take a look here real quick. What sword are we using? The Flame Blade, 160. Not bad. Yeah, it's got 1100. And yeah, we just kind of broke the game. Now, there's been somebody in the comments who's been talking about this method and doing it in the first hour and a half of the game. For the purpose of this LP, that would have destroyed me going through plot points and anything like that. So there's an obvious reason right there why I didn't do it right away. Now, the Marvel Sword absolutely breaks the game and makes it completely easy for the rest of the game. And if you recruit a certain character, you can get an armor that's way better than anything we're going to get until the bonus dungeons of the game. You get both of these, and you walk through the game with Claude by himself, equipped a stone check and a paralysis check on him, and he will not have any problem for the rest of the game by himself. So, I'm not going to use it. There's no way in hell I'm completely breaking the game like this. There will be an LP where I'll want to completely break the game with abusing the game system in order to do get really powerful really early in the game. That is not Star Ocean Second Story. I will let you guys ponder in the comments about which game you think I'll do that to. there is one I have in mind, and it's the way I play the game every single time I play it. And I will give you one hint. You can get the ultimate weapon on disc 1. That's all I'm giving you. Okay, so we got the Marvel Sword. And because we got the Marvel Sword, you could use this and just annihilate anything. There's a quest that we can do within a private action that you can do with this sword that you wouldn't otherwise be able to do for like 10 or 20 levels. Like I said, I'm not going to use this. There are 2 uses for it if I'm not going to use it. One of them is, well, obviously to use it. The second one is to sell it because it is worth a crap ton of money. So let's see just how much we can sell that for. Yeah, 87,000. And the thing is, I haven't even put any points into anything yet that could increase the amount that will sell by. That is called tool knowledge. If you put points in that, it increases item selling prices by 3% at each level. I can't remember if it's additional or multiplication. I don't know. Math is hard. But basically, it makes it go up. And up is a good thing. So we could do that. I'm not going to do it yet. I'm just going to let it sit in my inventory for a little while. And if I need the money, I will sell it. But by the time it's acceptable in terms of how I'm going to play to use this sword, we'll be on disc 2 and we'll be able to get one of his ultimate weapons anyway. So I'm just going to, you'll be able to find this sword like 2 dungeons in on disc 2. By 2 dungeons in, I will have just made his ultimate weapon anyway, because it's faster, it's easier, and it's more powerful. So anyway, that is a very important step if you want to do any kind of speeding through the game. You'll want to pick that up as soon as you can. Also, since we're talking about what people have said in comments, somebody left a really good comment in one of my, I think it was the Get Rich Quick episode. And in there, they mentioned another strategy for getting a lot of money. And that's another effective method. I believe that one was in terms of buying seltzers. And I think I can buy seltzers here, so it's a good time to bring that up. I have a bunch of people I want to pickpocket in this town for some useful gear. Not quite as useful as the Marvel Sword, but some useful stuff nonetheless. So let's roll up here. If there is a seltzer, it'll be here, I think. Okay, so we don't have it here. Seltzer is an item that has a random buy price based, well, it's not random, it's based on the amount of steps you've taken or some such thing. And it might also be in here. Yes, there it is. Okay. So yeah, it's based on the amount of steps you've taken, and so if you can buy it relatively early, that was his method, was buying these early by coming to the port of Herlie right away as soon as possible, then leaving, or maybe it's game time, and then leaving the game on in order to let the price ramp up and then sell them as needed. Just buy a few, however much you can afford, by unlocking talents and getting skill points. I'll go into unlocking talents in a little bit. We have a few other things we want to do first. But anyway, yeah, that's another method you could use if you wanted to. I thought the minor grinding was simpler, easier to explain, so that's the one I went with. And I'm usually partial to those methods anyway, since there's no real reason to keep your levels super low in this game. Though I'm not going to try and over grind. I won't do any major grinding until probably disc 2. There's a point right at the start where I'll probably do a bunch, mainly to get skill points. But anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk to about what you guys have been talking about in comments and getting the Marvel Sword and all that. Now I'm going to go check my notes because I can't remember who I need to steal from. I know 2 of them I think are up in the bar, but anyway, I'm going to go check that out, and I will see you in a moment. Okay, so the first 2 people we want to steal from are you. Oh, nice, and you. They give you foraged items. Now, we'll be able to create these ourselves, but basically the point of creating these types of items is any of the forged items is they fake doing what they're supposed to do. So a check is supposed to be money, you sell this one for money. A bill contains or is charging someone money, so a forged one gives you money. Basically, when you sell them, you get lots of money. That's the only real purpose to grabbing these ones. The more important one is the forged, where is it? Probably around here somewhere. Of course, it's going to be way down at the bottom, isn't it? There we go. Forged metals. That's the only one that's particularly useful for anything other than money, but you can make a lot of money by selling the forged bills and checks and stuff like that. There's some other features for stuff like that as well. Some of the other guys around here give some minorly useful things. We don't really care, but there's some more tea, which we can sell. There's a ring of sadness if you want that. And shopkeepers and bartenders seem to be notoriously hard or difficult to be able to steal from. I probably should be increasing your skill in that. So let's do that. Get that up there a little bit, make things a little easier for myself. The other ones that are somewhat important are in here, though I'm going to run out and save first because, well, I'm going to save like that, but... And, of course, it's not going to work. There are 2 items we want to get in here, and so basically, like, I am going to use save states in order to make sure I get them faster, but sometimes the game's just not going to want to let me do that, so I'm going to have to go outside, make a proper save file, and then reload that one in order to make it work. So, anyway, I will see you in a moment when I get lucky. Alright, so the first one is Bandit's Gloves from him. Okay, and after many more attempts at this one, we finally get a buckler. I don't know why it's so bloody hard to get a buckler. It's a crappy shield that is much worse than what Claude is already using. But it's the only shield for quite some time that anyone else can use. So I wanted to make sure, absolutely certain that I got that one. As far as anything else, Eleanor in the sick girl in her house, which I spoke of before, she has an important item to get as well. There's a newlywed floating around somewhere that gives a ring of happiness, but that really doesn't matter. Ah, there's the care tablet. Awesome. No reloading required. Where is it? There it is. Used during combat, the magical medicine protects from many things. It makes you immune to paralysis, poison, and stone if used on a character in battle. So that's very useful. It means you don't have to equip anything to protect yourself if you decide to use that item. And I will be replicating those a little later. Anyway, that's, I think, pretty much all there is to do here. There's not a whole lot you can do in this city. I don't think there's any private actions we can do right off the hop, but anyway, let's end our private action here, and then we'll come in here regularly. Then we can take the boat and move forward. Yeah, this town really doesn't have a whole lot of plot significance, but it does have other things. I will talk to you in the next episode. But anyway, once we're done, we can cross the ocean to the continent of Liqueur. This is the only time I will make you sit through this. This is long. This is long if you hold fast forward the whole time. And my fast forward is pretty fast on this emulator. And unfortunately, it's not like Final Fantasy VII. We don't get a sequence in the middle. We have to watch this whole sequence every time. They don't just auto-do it after the first one. There's no battles on the ship. There's no nothing. It just takes forever. Yeah, takes forever. Okay, there's a number of things we can do here. The first one I'm going to do is talk to you. And I believe I have those ones. And do I have technique or combat 2? I don't think I do. Awesome. There we go. So we're up to level 2 with everyone in terms of skills, which means we have a lot more skills to go into. I will talk about them in a little bit, probably in a few episodes, because there's not really a whole lot of reason to go into them right away. This guy is really hard to talk to for some reason. I can never... There we go. Not that I come here all that much, I just figured I'd mention that there was a guy here, and he contains a bunch of stuff that we don't need. Root beer, though, is actually useful. Restores 35 MP for only 300, which isn't really all that bad. And since I have a bunch of extra money, we'll just pick those up because they're good enough. And we have a weapon shop that's a lot easier to go to. Ah, we have a weapon for a character we don't have. We have another weapon for a character we don't have that's way more powerful than what we are all using. Except for, I guess I could be using something better with Claude. We have an iron helm. Sure. Silk robes. We've got some leather boots, which will be better for Celine there. Or high heels if I want to give her those. I'll buy one, sure, why not? This is the upgraded armor that we would have had if we were on Renna's path and stole all that gear from Diaz. So that's nice to have as well. We'll pick up all of those. And we finally get some kind of specialized item shops that contain musical equipment. So we're going to want to buy those and those. These ones here, Feather Pen and Conductor's Baton, are for creating music in the game. And of course we need the instruments in order to do any of that. So I'm going to do that. And we're going to talk to you. This guy has other tools. Yeah, like the root beer is a little more expensive than the blackberry. The blackberry is actually more useful. Anyway, yeah. So we have access to that. We'll buy some more of those, another one of those, another one of those. We can get access to a few of the gems now that we're here. And we can buy the bandage gloves if we need those. Spectacles, you won't ever need to buy those. Well, unless you're using them specifically for a purpose. I'll go into that post-game. And we can buy all of those other things that we don't particularly need. But we should probably buy a few of those, because that'll be helpful. We don't need any of those. And we got enough of those, I think, to kind of go around at this point. And we've used most of the money that we had. Okay, I'm going to show this off real quick, hopefully. I don't think it takes too long. But if you stay in the inn, once you get to Hilton, which is the name of the city, I didn't really mention it. I believe this happens on either path. So it doesn't really matter which path you choose. Just make sure you stay the night at the inn when you get here. Didn't even know Renna was there. She was hiding. Either she was hiding behind there or she's just, you couldn't see her when she was in bed there. I guess to emphasize the fact that it's at night and there's no sound, they cut all the sound. And it's very quiet. Until it's not. Out of emergency transmission range. Oh, so yeah, he's still trying to contact home or contact the Federation or whatever he's trying to contact to get him off this rock. And it seems it's not working. Nope. Now, the interesting thing is you see this from Renna's perspective, I believe, on both paths, which is kind of interesting. I guess you see it from both perspectives in both situations. You just get the omniscient camera view to see that Reyna is actually watching. Stars are suns, not planets, but okay. I know what he's trying to say, but yeah, whatever. It's just funny. We get a little character development for Claude. Seems he's missing his parents, wants to go home. It's kind of interesting since we saw the private action in Salva where he didn't seem to be all that big on his father, or didn't feel all that big on the fact that he had to live up to his father's name. Seems to be the case. But yeah, back to the silence. That's pretty much all there is to do in Hilton as well. So there's not really a whole lot to do. She doesn't mention anything about, you know, what he was doing, what the device he was holding was, why was there a voice coming out of this magical box, or anything like that. They just kind of end it there. But anyway, yeah, that's, as far as I know, I think that's the only inn that gives you that random scene like that. We will do the pickpocketing in this town later when we come back. I just wanted to kind of do all of the important bits here. And yeah, that's pretty much all for this one. And I'll see you guys next time.